Well, hello everyone. Welcome to week 2 of season 2 of Formula G. We are in France this week on a little bit of a different map than last season. My name is Zotomo, and I'm joined by my co-caster Calamity. How are you doing this morning?
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been pouring down rain all day, so nothing better to do than sit back and enjoy some GeoGuessr. So perfect weather, I think, for that. But yeah, so what's special about this map is it doesn't include all the overseas territory. This is like, I guess they call it metropolitan France, which is just the France mainland you think of when you think of France in Europe. So no islands, no Réunion way in the Indian Ocean, and no Suriname. Is that what it's called?
Suriname is Dutch, but no French
Oh,
Guyana if it had coverage, which
Guyana,
it
that's
doesn't
what it is.
anyway. But
Okay, yeah, it doesn't have much coverage. I think it has photospheres, but yeah,
yeah,
no official coverage at least. That so the points will be a little bit harder to come by for this one. Yeah, Calamity, who do we have in this week's lineup?
today we've got Mr. Blue, who we'll see in round one, which will be followed up by me in round two. Then we've got Max for round three, M. Wickham for round four, and Xander for round five.
Very nice. So some returning faces as well as one new face for us to see. Well, let's just jump right in then into round number 1 with Mr. Blue. And we start off on a nice U-bend, which will be good for pinpointing. But other than that, in the mountains,
Yep,
it would appear.
not the kind of location you usually want to have in France. Anything rural
Yeah.
can be quite difficult to find.
Yep. I mean, we are in Europe. We are in France, so the chances of signs being findable is pretty high, and especially with a time limit of 5 minutes, I would expect that we're able to, and especially here with Mr. Blue in 30 seconds, he's already got himself into a town. So
Mm. Yeah, usually finding signs isn't the difficult part in France. It's usually well signed. The problem is just, are the signs going to be of any help to you? Because quite a
true,
lot
true.
of them just provide you with small towns nearby and, you know, departmental roads that are in France 100 times. Um, so unless you find something that gives you a bit of a better idea of which general region you're in, such as, for example, highways or signs towards bigger towns that you might recognize, they might
Yep.
not be the most useful.
Yeah, we did just pass a real estate sign with a somewhat area code on it,
I
but
think I,
didn't bother.
I think it was a mobile code. I just saw it for a
Oh,
glimpse,
okay.
but
Yeah. And this is what we're all looking for. This is some nice towns with directions as well as the road number. If he scooches back a bit, he'll be able to see that
yeah, it's
in the
probably
D1. But
yeah,
there's a town
mostly
entrance.
mostly something that's going to be helpful if you already roughly know where you are for
Oh,
pinpointing.
if you didn't, you know what that one is. Geneva, not too far away.
Yeah.
So we are right on the Swiss border, or at least within 23 kilometers of it.
Mm.
And there's the village entrance sign, or that Mr. Blue has seen. And now it's in terms of backtracking.
Yeah, there's not really too many roads that go out of the town to the south, so doesn't really have much of a choice.
Yep, and there's a bunch of little squiggly lines. We've got to figure out which turn you're probably in. There's one turn, second turn, and a third into a straight. So now he'll come back to the start, check the other direction. Still got 2.5 minutes left to go. Oh no, yeah, it's 2 minutes left to go. Got so many counters up there. Which
Yeah.
one is he? Which one's the right one? So that's 1, 2, 3 into a straight. So he's pretty close. I think that's probably where he is. A little bit further back,
Mm.
maybe. Sure enough, that's where he'll put his pin. And there is bonus points for the fastest 25K. So
Yep, just compared to compared to last season, Well, he gets his
Mhm.
5K. Last season, the bonus points were 5 points. This season, it's only 2 points. So not quite as important as it was last season.
But still worth trying for, especially after you can pick up this pretty good round one with an ace. We can see that you and Max both got aces in this round. How did the other two do?
Yeah, I for some reason just closed the game page I had open previously. I don't know why
Ah,
I would do that. Just talk about something else for a bit. I'll
oh
I'll
yeah, of
find it.
course. Danny Blonde's another newcomer to both Reddit League last season, as well as Formula G this season, getting an ace as well for him there. Um, I did notice something, Calamity, that after your little hiatus, you have changed your GeoGuessr
Mm,
icon. So you got this little anime character here on the screen, but it's a new character.
mm.
If you want to know what that is, check out his profile on GeoGuessr to find out for yourself.
Yeah, I generally just
That.
change every so often depending on stuff I play and things like that,
Mhm.
and which characters I'm currently attached to. Anyway, I found the page.
There we
Uh,
go. Okay, perfect.
yeah, 5K for who am I missing? Sander as well, and 4,138 points for Mwicom, who was a bit too far north on sort of the other side of the border.
Mm, okay. Very nice. Maybe I kind of forgot what country he was playing a little bit.
No,
Lost in the weeds.
not on the other side of the border, as in Switzerland, but you have France, then you've got Switzerland, and then you've got France again, and he was in France on the other side.
Uh, okay. That makes more sense. He was in France. He was in the another part of France by way of Switzerland. Okay. Very interesting. Okay, well, let's shift over into round number 2 with you here, and right off the bat, the two languages
Mm.
going to be a pretty big clue.
Yep, very typical for well, Brittany in the northwestern part of France.
Mm-hmm. Breton, as well as the architecture, which always reminds me of like southeast kind of England, not southeast, southwest England,
Mm.
as which is across the channel. So they share a lot of characteristics in that regard.
Yeah, I've also already
Here's a road
seen,
number.
yeah, seen right at the start a O2 area code, which also signifies the northwest of France.
And there's the D82 as well as the village name that you
Mm.
are now leaving.
Yep.
Probably looking for a bigger road, I would assume.
Yeah, not necessarily just a bigger road, but also any signs towards a bigger city.
Mm.
Because at that point, I do know that we are somewhere in Brittany, but I'd rather find a sign to a bigger city so that, I don't have to risk it all looking for that small
Mm.
city we started in for 3 minutes and, risk not finding it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't go this way. I went actually the other way through town and got my information that way. So this is kind of all new scenery for me. Lovely stroll. Here's a nice big road with some town names.
Mm.
Might be able to pick up. There we go. Those might be a little bit bigger. We'll see.
And at that point, I was like, okay, got enough cities. And there it is.
Yeah, there we go. Cities, road numbers. The D1 is right there.
Yep.
And there's the D82. And right by the church as well is going to be very nice to help us out. There it is. It is to our south a bit.
Yep.
There's a little adjustment.
Just looking for road directions a bit. Looks a bit different in Street View than it does on the map. On Street View, you've got this kind of weird curve into town, which doesn't appear on the map, but it's close enough.
Yeah, and the point of interest matchup.
Yeah. Again, bars called differently in Street View than on the map, but the roads all
Yeah.
match up, so I'm just trying to confirm.
Yeah, that's the one tricky thing. And you will get an ace in that one. Very nicely done. Max appeared to be in the right sort of area, but we can see he's got 3,533 points. Everybody else, Calamity?
Yeah, and Wickham, similarly to Max, similar distance away, also losing about 1,500 points. And Xander, 1 point lost. I don't know if it was a pinpointing issue or if he just ran out of time. He took all of his 5 minutes, so presumably the latter. And Mr. Blue got a perfect score here as well.
So, a couple perfect scores for this one. After round 2, very nice. Not too difficult though. Scenery, language, everything, plenty of signs. So in terms of France, this was definitely a very, very nice round for us all. Okay, moving on to round number 3 with Max FI and some more rural mountain roads for us here.
It's so mountainous again that you can already sort of eliminate about 95% of France.
Yeah, you're pretty much on the Italian-Swiss border.
Or
somewhere in there.
Or the Spanish border, but...
Are they really that big? Like, I didn't think the mountains were...
The Pyrenees are pretty big.
Okay. There's the D191, as well as a few town names, as well as the D91. So, Grenal, and the sign, a couple road names, checking them out multiple times just to make sure.
Yeah.
Got a big U-turn, U-bend, another one as well. Big windy mountain road. So he'll descend to the village, and there's the village name. Now these little stone things, these little markers are very helpful. Even if you don't have the nice metal sign, you do see those a lot, especially in rural mountain roads. So keep an eye out for those. I would assume that's an area code, but I can't really tell. It's just a bunch of numbers. Not really organized too well.
Yeah, for me the video is too laggy to see much of anything, so...
The internet catches up here in a bit. Now you can pause for a bit, look at a few.
Yeah. Menton is a relatively well-known city at the border to Italy.
And the E74 will be a good reference point as well.
Yeah, quite a bit further away from the sea as Max has his marker right now.
Yeah, there's no distances on that, unfortunately. So he's got a little bit going northward. There's the D93 at least.
There's the D6204.
There's a D91.
Yep.
And the 191. Now got to figure out which switchback you're on. Quite a few of them. Of course, these mountainside roads, every one of them looks the same. Gotta figure out exactly which one you're on.
Yeah, he's also traveled quite far to get to the town. So it's not like he can just go back and retrace his steps back to the town and then decide, okay, I was like 17 curves away from it.
Yeah, a little bit trickier than that. He'll head back to the start and retrace his steps.
Yeah, what you're generally looking for in these instances is any significant curve in a road where you can go, okay, this looks so distinctive that I can just look through the road and find that curve. And at that point, you can retrace your steps from there, so you don't have to go all the way back to the city.
Yeah. He seems to have picked one out for himself with just under 2 minutes left. He will go a little bit south just to confirm if there's any other questions. And yep, it is correct. We zoomed out for a second. I thought he might have missed it, but nope. He gets that ace. 5,000 points for him there. Well done for him in that one. But yeah, again, lots of information to find, and just a matter of counting curves and being precise, which can be harder than they make it look sometimes, though. But everybody else, how did they all fare in this one?
Yep, perfect scores for Mr. Blue and Xander as well, who were both relatively close to the 5 minutes, but did get the pinpointing down. Mwicom dropped 42 points. He was on the D91, just a bit too far northwest. And I managed to be so brilliant and look at the sign that says D91 twice. Once to just look at it, once to confirm it, and both times thought I was looking at D92 and then couldn't find D92 because it obviously doesn't exist there. So I lost about 102 points.
Yeah, I think I was trying to find the 91. For some reason, it just eluded me a little bit, and I was a little bit too far south, if I remember right, out of ways, and dropped a few points on this one
Yeah,
as well.
I
But
was even I was even looking at it and I was like, okay, that's the D91. No, that's not it. I'm looking for the D92. Where is it?
uh, I caught myself doing that when I was looking at some comments on a YouTube video about GeoGuessr, and they're like, "You realize that you just switched the two numbers around and you kept repeating the wrong numbers?" And I was like, "Oh my word!"
Mm,
Yeah, instead of saying the 91, I was like, "Oh, the 19," and they're like, "No, no, it's not the
mm-mm.
19." uh, Sometimes your brain plays funny tricks on you.
Mm,
Okay, well, we're already into round number 4 here, as we'll take a look at M. Wickham after his pretty decent round there. We see his score, 4,954. And this was probably one of the most interesting locations in the game for me, at least because you're on a highway, which isn't always easy to pinpoint because it's often straight with no kind of anything to base off of. But we do have something slightly to the south of the starting location, which actually
mm.
is quite fascinating. A toll booth. So in the A77 there, I'm sure it'll just take Wickham a second to spot it on his map. He's
Yeah.
probably looking for the city, not the road.
Yeah, I'd assume so. The road
Yeah.
stands out a lot more in this scenario, but you can never really know by just seeing the sign. Regarding toll booths, it's always a bit of a mixed bag because sometimes they appear on the map and sometimes they don't. I'm not sure if it's just country based or if it's even sometimes this, sometimes that in a country itself. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but this one does appear on the map, so that's good.
Yeah, I wasn't hoping that it would be on the map, and then when I zoomed in, it was. So I was like, "Oh, that's very nice."
Mm,
Well, it's a long way to Paris, 180 kilometers. Yeah, oh, and there's Nevers.
yep, Nevers. It's found it,
Nevers.
and he obviously again doesn't know how far away from it he is because the other
Mm-hmm.
sign he found with the city on it didn't tell him. But you do have exit numbers. At least the sign with Nevers on it had an exit number.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
The number as well. Cosen.
And they are
22.
they do appear in the map.
That's always my favorite thing about highways is exit numbers. Probably your best bet for trying to pinpoint.
Yep, there's 32, so he's going the wrong way.
Yeah, very nice. There's the name of the town as well.
Yep.
23, 22. There we go. Now you got to find the toll booth. Can we find that?
Mm-hmm.
Still got 2.5 minutes. This French seed has not challenged the drivers too much. There's been some tricky ones, but everybody's been able to be at least within the ballpark.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna realize sooner or later that he's on the wrong side of the exit.
Yeah. And it
There
even
we
has
go.
a point of interest for you. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the little parking area off the side will also give a little bit of pinpointing help. So
Yeah,
in terms of highways, this is actually a very nice location.
yeah, building as well to the east of him that he could pinpoint with. Um, looks to
If he
be
looks.
yeah, of course, but oh yeah, that's a rookie error, I'd call it. Uh,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
looked at the toll booth and saw that he was on his right, on the right road, but forgot that his compass was pointing south. So
Yeah, I gotta switch that
yeah,
around. Very nice. So yeah, it is really annoying when it on the map it doesn't, well, not on the map. In Street View, it does not look like two roads separated by a huge gap. But in the map there is, and so you're like, which one do I pick? And unfortunately, got a little bit turned around there. He'll drop a point for him. We can see that Mr. Blue, an ace for him in that round. Everybody else, Calamity.
yep, aces all around. Most of them pretty quickly. A minute 10 for me, a minute 34 for Max, a minute 47 for Xander, and 2 minutes 13 for Mr. Blue. So
Yeah.
one of probably the easiest rounds. Just let me look through quickly.
I think almost everybody got an ace. or
Yeah,
4999. So
it was.
yeah,
Let me just quickly see. Yeah, Polyboss lost 1,000 points, and apart from him and Danny Blondes, who lost about 160, everyone got at least within 2 points.
yeah, yeah. So the pretty straightforward location for a majority of the field in this round. Okay, well, let's finish up with round 5 and Xander, one of our new drivers this season, in round number 5. And we start off finally in an actual city, which
Mm-hmm.
you know, could be good, could be bad. In this case, we've got some street names, which shouldn't come as a big surprise.
Yeah. French cities usually have their names somewhere, usually not on official signs, but
Mm-hmm.
stuff like advertisement boards or similar often have the city name on them somewhere.
Yeah. And so that's what he'll be looking for now. Oh, nice wave from the gentleman on the side of the road there. And let's see if he can find the town name. This one. He's traveling further than I did. Just goes. The bus disappeared on him. There we
Unlucky.
go. Yeah, still no town name.
Mm.
Oh, but oh no, there it
Yeah,
is.
there. Yeah, Lille.
The Leo Center. Okay, that'll give him the town. Now he's got to find some city names. Where exactly in this town are we? There we go. Main Boulevard. That'll help. And now I just got to find the cross streets.
Mm.
So again, a very straightforward round. Once you figure out the town you're in.
Yeah, cities in France usually aren't too big of an issue to find out where you are in the city itself, because the really big ones like Paris have what are they called again? Arrondissements. So like districts.
Yeah, districts.
Um,
Yeah.
so those are on street signs as well. So for those,
Mm.
it's not a problem. You can narrow it down. And most other cities aren't that big. So as long as you have some roads that you can, like some major roads that you can find, you should usually be fine.
Mm. Yeah, a little bit of a trick here in the sense that some of these shops have changed. So Xander will spend a little bit more time trying to make sure he is exactly where he is supposed to be. That restaurant was a pretty good help for me, so let's see if he does the same. He uses that.
Yeah, I think
Help
235
him
Barber
pinpoint.
Street has a PY as well on the map.
Yeah. There we go.
Yep.
A little bit further down. He's got 2 minutes left. And now down to pinpointing. And there's that Starship laser, too, as well. Point of interest. Looking for a couple more. Somewhere in there. It's always a tricky thing because you can even be just a couple more meters too far away and they'll drop a point, which happened to him. He's sitting on 19,999, so can't get a perfect game, unfortunately, but he can get as close as you can possibly to it, and he'll go really fast. 5,000 points for him there in that one. Like way too far back. There we go. Finishing off 24,999 for him. Yeah, the rest of the field, we can see a couple on the screen there. Mr. Blue, a perfect game for him. Very nice, but quite a few of those, as we can see, for that. But everybody else, Calamity?
Yeah, 4997 for Mwicom, who is a couple streets over, and perfect scores for everyone else.
Not too bad at all. You can see that in the top 10, you being in the 10th place, all those point positions, you had to be over 24,898 just to even get a look in at the points. And you can see me there. Look at that. Number 14.
Yeah, so
24-5. Not a bad score in France, but not good enough on the day, apparently.
Yeah,
so,
there were still a few people missing from that page as well, so
yeah, I think I dropped even further down too, so
yep.
Very, very competitive week, and given those locations, you can understand why. Not too many challenges, but a few little twists and turns that could have caught some people off guard in this one. So, well, thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed this second week in France. Next week, we are headed to a very interesting location in South Korea, which will really test our drivers and their geography knowledge. And we'll see you all there. Take care.
Bye.